Citi News.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News, which is live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, Accra. The news is live across the globe on citinewsroom.com, Citi 97.3 FM on Facebook, and CityTube on YouTube. I am Wilma Obuobi-Sakoman, and this afternoon I'm here with
Inu Safo.
Coming up, aggrieved customers of the defunct Gold Coast Fund Management picketed the premises of the Ministry of Finance to demand release of their locked-up funds.
I go sit down for here. They give us the money. I swear, my grandpa, he can't work. You see now, I said today, we are taking the money. Either rain or shine, we are standing here to take the money.
Also coming up, youth in the Ashanti region threaten to protest next month if government fails to ensure the resumption of work on abundant projects in the region. Still ahead, lawyers for Inspector General of Police Dr. George Akufu-Dampare vows to resist any attempt by the committee investigating a leaked audio tape plotting the ousting of the IGP to invite extraneous witnesses. And later, some Ghanaians in Israel say they are safe despite the barrage of bombing ongoing in Gaza.
But as I said, the situation is under control. Internally, it is under control. And then the bombings are being, the Iron Dome is intersecting a lot of missiles. So when you hear some alarm, we run to take shelter.
Stay tuned as we bring you details of all that and more on the Citi Prime News, which is also live across the country on a number of affiliate stations. In the Western region, we are on Adwempa 100.7 FM in Takwa and Beach 105.5 FM in Takrady. In the Bonnet region, we're on Green at 95.9 FM in Sunyang. In the Ashanti region, we're on Adwempa 99.9 FM in Inkarie. In the Volta region, we're on Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohoe. Freedom 88.1 FM in Sogakopa. In the Northern region, we're on Radio Gaki 88.3 FM in Saboba. In the Upper East region, we're on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. In the Northeast region, Nobia FM 98.1 FM in Nalerigo.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for your time this afternoon. We'll settle for the details of our stories now. Aggrieved customers of the defunct Gold Coast Fund Management, previously known as Black Shield Capital Limited, are currently staging a protest at the Finance Ministry. They are demanding the release of their locked-up funds, which were trapped when the government revoked the company's license. Over 55,000 customers were affected by this closure. The protesters are specifically concerned that the approved 8.6 billion Ghana cedis allocated by Parliament for their settlement has not been disbursed to them. Some of the affected customers have voiced their frustrations with Citi News.
They are taking the money. You see, I swear, I go sit down for here. They give us the money. I swear. Hey, see, now, my grandpa, he can't work. You see now, you take the money, you want to make it die. People die today because of this money. People die because of this money. Because they are thinking. They're thinking it's too much. You suffer for maybe from 20 years to 80 years. You put your money, say, oh, I'm coming to rest in the house. And get investment for the money. See now, they lost their money. See, if it were you will not die. See now, see our book are costing in the market. So you take that money to pay his school fees. Now, I don't know. I said today, we are taking the money. Either rain or shine, we are standing here to take the money.
I don't think it is fair. We've worked for the government for so many years. I retired 23 years ago. What do you think I live on? So we are just begging the government to give us our money. According to them, they have given it to us. The 8.6 billion that is added to the 17, which has not been paid. And yet, they are saying they've given it to us. No, I wouldn't have come if I've been paid. Yes. So we are just pleading that our money should be given to us. Okay. At least to see me enjoy my old age. At least now.
How much do you have loved it?
Those were some customers of the defunct Gold Coast Fund Management who are picketing at the Ministry of Finance. We'll go over the phone lines to speak to my colleague Kennedy Chumedzi, who is at the premises of the Finance Ministry, to tell us more. Kennedy, good afternoon and thanks for your time this afternoon. Tell us or paint a picture of what's happening at the Finance Ministry as we speak. Hello, Kennedy, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you, woman.
Yes, I'm asking.
The question again.
Yes, I was asking you to give us a picture of what's happening at the Finance Ministry.
Okay, so the protesters are here in their numbers. Most of them were passed from Circle to the Finance Ministry. Their demand is simple. They want their locked up funds to be given to them. Now, this stems from the 2019 when the financial sector cleanup by the Bank of Ghana had to liquidate some banks and also shut down some financial institutions, including microfinances, savings and loans, and among others. And the Gold Coast Fund Management Company was among the companies that were shut down. And now, these customers are here in their numbers to demand money, to demand their locked up funds because they had monies that were in the fund that was collapsed. The defunct company, which operated under the registered name Blackshirt Company Limited, they had over 50,000 customers whose funds were locked up before the regulator revoked their license. And according to them, the main reason why they are here is that Parliament approved about 8.6 billion Ghana cedis to settle these customers. And according to them, they are still yet to receive the money from the Finance Ministry and for the Finance Ministry. And this is the main reason why they are here. Earlier, they picketed at the Securities and Exchange Commission, and today they are here at the Finance Ministry. One will be asking why these two institutions. The first, the Securities and Exchange Commission, they supervise the capital market, and which involves investment. And this whole issue is our investment. And with the Finance Ministry, they play the role in the collapse of the banks as well. And since the collapse of a government institution, it is key that the Finance Ministry is an entity responsible for addressing their concerns of the affected parties. The protest is expected to last for 48 hours, which is 2 days, and the customers are determined that they will remain here and they will sleep here, and they are waiting to hear something positive from the Finance Minister. And until they hear anything positive from the ministry, they are not going to leave the premises of the Finance Ministry. I can see canopies, I can see chairs, and people are relaxing. People are waiting to hear something positive from the Finance Ministry.
You mentioned that the leadership of the group had gone into a meeting with the officials of the Finance Ministry. What have they been saying?
Yeah, so basically the leaders were called in for a meeting. According to their leader, he indicated that one of the directors wanted to see them. Directors of the Finance Ministry wanted to see them, but unfortunately, when they went, they were not attended to. They were told to wait at the reception of the Finance Ministry, and it's been asked, and no one has come to speak to them. So they just came out of the Finance Ministry and addressed the press, and they indicated that they think that it's some sort of disrespect to them to call them into a meeting and leave them at the reception, and no one is attending to them. So they just came out and they indicated that when they are called in for another meeting, and if the meeting is not to see the Finance Minister or one of their deputies, they are not going in. Basically, they want their locked up funds dispersed to them as soon as possible, because most of their members, some are dead, some are sick. And in my interview with some of the customers, one of some of the affected customers are home. They are old. So their children are here to stand in for their parents to demand the locked-up fund. Pensioners are also here because some of them invested in this fund so that they could have a soft life when they go on pension. So this situation here is very, very serious to these customers, and they are not moving until they get something positive from the finance ministry.
Well, thank you so much for that update. That was my colleague Kennedy Chumesi reporting from the Ministry of Finance on the picketing of the aggrieved customers of defunct Gold Coast Fund Management.
Let's go to the Ashanti region, where the Asante Youth Association has given the government a 1-month ultimatum to expedite work on abandoned projects in the Ashanti region or face a massive protest. They are also demanding that the government prioritize development in the region, expressing disappointment with what they perceive as neglect by the Akufo-Addo-led government, despite the region being an NPP stronghold. The vice president of the Asante Youth Association, Nana Opong Boadi, voiced their frustration, claiming the president has not been equitable in addressing the concerns of residents of the Ashanti region.
In Kumasi, as for Kumasi now, all the projects are standstill. The Central Market project abandoned. Kumasi, the Confirmation Maternity block is also abandoned. Airport project, no work is going on again. Sevilla Regional Hospital, no work is going on again. Afarimitri Hospital, no work is going on again. Bosomche Road, no work is going on. Manson Kwanta, no work is going on. This area, Kwabre Rose, no work is going on. The Swami interchange that they cut the sword, they are just maybe removing the trees around the roadside. They have not started any major work at even the Swami. From today, as we are speaking as a youth group, up to November, if these projects are still abandoned and the contractors or those who are supposed to work are not on the site, we will go there ourselves and see. If they are not there, we are going to protest. And when we talk about protest, there are so many ways to protest to the government. I don't want to put my plans out now, but we are going to protest. We organize all the youth in the Asante Kingdom to fight for this kingdom. Because
the group also expressed disappointment with residents of the Ashanti region who hold ministerial positions and the over 40 members of parliament from the region. They believe that these officials have not done enough to advocate for development in the region.
So those cabinet ministers who are sitting in Accra and they will come only on weekend to attend funeral and then dash collect 100 cities and go away. That is not what we are looking for. We are looking to hear their voice speaking that our region is left behind, so that the government go back and do whatever they expect of doing it. And there are MPs who are also sitting down. For the 3 MPs, they are the majority in parliament, and they are not fighting for Asante development. They should be very careful, because very soon primaries is coming, and most of those MPs are going to lose their seats at the primaries. And those when you win the primaries too and you are not performing, you make sure you lose your seat, so that next time it will serve as a deterrent for those who think that Ashanti region, they will vote for him or her. That era is gone. Now we vote for you, your credibility, your contribution towards the region, not your handsomeness or your lineage or you are from the maybe a powerful family. No, we want those who are serious about the development of Asante. So the MPs, they should watch out. We are going to go around to their constituencies and campaign against them if they are not ready for the region development.
You heard Vice President of Asante Youth Association, Nana Opong Boadi. Meanwhile, a political historian at KNUST, Professor Samuel Edujemfi, is however urging the electorates in the Ashanti region to take assertive measures to demand development from the NPP-led government. He suggests that resorting to protests and other forms of activism may be necessary to make the government prioritize the development needs of the region and address the concerns of the people.
And it's very key that if you have the MPP as a government, forming government, showing keen interest in development of the region, in the development of the region, Ghana will develop holistically.
in the area of agriculture, in the area of infrastructure, in the area of all the other indicators we have talked about. Asante is not doing well. So Ghana is not doing well. And Asante is not doing well because the MPP has not done so well when they have been in power in terms of delivering the public good for the people of the region. And it has come about because they have taken the people for granted. They feel that rain or shine, they will queue to vote for them as a party. And for me, if the people in this region continue to allow this insult to subsist, it means that our embryonic democracy will not grow to even become a zygote. It has the potential to die even at birth. And for me, it is quite disappointing, and that is not democracy. Votes must translate into development.
And so how should the people show this? That's tell the government.
From time to time, they must show that in protest, in demonstration. They must show that in public agitation. They must show that in open speeches and discussions like I'm doing. Because when people queue to vote, they don't beg for development. All what they want is that it must translate into the provision of public good, which is missing glaringly in Asante. And for me, that is unacceptable, and that is, something that should not be encouraged within the scheme of things.
That was a political historian at KNUST, Professor Samuel Edujemfi.
Democracy Hub, the organizers of hashtag Occupy Jolobi House demonstration, have announced their intention to hold a month-long protest from December 1st to December 31st, 2023 at the Jubilee House. The goal of this protest is to demand the resignation or impeachment of President Akufo-Addo. The group cited concerns about the president's perceived incompetence, high youth unemployment, and economic mismanagement as reasons for their demonstration. They plan to release detailed guidelines to ensure a peaceful and orderly event during the protest. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. Would take a break here. Still to come in the bulletin, lawyers of Inspector General of Police Dr. George Ekufu Dampari vowed to resist any attempt by the committee investigating a leaked audio tape plotting to oust the IGP to invite extraneous witnesses. We'll bring you details of this story and others shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Isn't it amazing how something as simple as clean hands can change the world around us? Let's take a moment to appreciate the power of clean hands. Imagine the possibilities when you keep your hands clean. Allow me to remind you of some 5 instances when clean hands can make all the difference. Before indulging in your favorite banku, gobe or wache. After a visit to the restroom. While caring for a loved one who needs your support. Right after you sneezed, coughed, or handled a tissue. And every time you touch public surfaces. Think about it. Clean hands mean our children can go to school without worries, our hospitals can provide top-notch care, and our workplaces can thrive. These moments might seem trivial, but they keep you and those around you safe and healthy. This message is brought to you by WaterAid Ghana. Follow us on social media for more tips on hand hygiene.
Citi TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117, and on HD+, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search, but take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV. Citi TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD+ boxes. Citi TV, it's your world.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Yeah, welcome back. Now, amidst the escalating Israel-Gaza conflict, some Ghanaians living in Israel are working to ease the concerns of their relatives back home regarding their safety. The conflict has seen continuous bombings in Gaza lasting for over 24 hours and resulting in numerous casualties, including fatalities and injuries. The United Nations has urgently called for a ceasefire to protect the lives of innocent civilians caught in the crossfire. In an interview with Citi News, a Ghanaian national working in Israel, known as Dela, addressed the fears and uncertainties surrounding the situation. He emphasized that despite the prevailing panic and uncertainty, most Ghanaians residing in Israel are currently safe. However, he expressed concerns about Ghanaian students who may be located in regions more directly affected by the conflict.
I can't say Ghanaians are stranded because most of the populated Ghanaians are either at Tel Aviv or at Eilat. Where the bombings are actually happening, it's not Tel Aviv, it's around Ashkelon. So if there are some Ghanaians who could be stranded, then it should be the students who came for the agro studies program, because most of the farms are around that side, the southern part, Ashkelon, Ashdod, Odaya, that's perimeter. To our best of knowledge, we don't know, like to what I know, because we are in some WhatsApp groups and then all that. For what I know, I don't see any Ghanaians stranded. All we are doing is we are keeping safe. Most of the people are at home, not working. Children are not going to school. Just a few of us are working. So if you talk about being stranded, but as I said, the situation is under control. Internally, it is under control. And then the bombings are being the Iron Dome is intersecting a lot of missiles. So when you hear some alarm, we run to take shelter. There are shelters, bomb shelters around. Go. There's fear. There's fear because we don't know who is part of them, and then it's within the area that you are. So we are just being watchful. We're just being careful. We are just being vigilant. And we are assisting if we see or suspect anything. We are urged to report.
Dela is a Ghanaian national working in Israel.
The National Union of Ghana Students has initiated discussions with the Scholarship Secretariat and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to resolve the issues raised by some students from the University of Education, Winneba, who are studying in Togo. These students are part of a 4-month exchange program in Togo and have reported that their monthly allowance of 45,000 CFA, as well as their book and health allowances, have not been paid for 2 months. NUC's president, Chairman Opon Daniel, confirmed that they have contacted the relevant authorities to address this matter.
Yesterday, via our official emails, I think they are registering their displeasures on the kind of stress and the plethora of challenges they find themselves in, looking at the inability of the scholarship secretariat to reimburse the funds due them. Think upon a lot of agitations and constant engagement with the scholarship secretariat has proved futile. So I think the report came to us. We are engaging the scholarship secretariat, we are engaging the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to really find an end to this particular challenge that the students are facing. The meetings for stakeholder engagement is one of the key things because one of the first people involved are the scholarship secretariat, and until we engage them, we might not know the nitty-gritties or the challenge or what is really stopping them from reimbursing the funds. Because I'm told that students in Benin who are all from the University of Winneba paid the amount due them. So it's with the students in Togo. So upon engaging them, we will get to know the challenges and the next step that will be taken in case the engagement proves futile.
You heard the president of the National Union of Ghana Students, Daniel Opon Chirme.
Now, the Attorney General, Godfred Yeboah-Dame, has disclosed that Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, a former Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation and former chairman of the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, has not provided the necessary evidence to support his report on illegal mining for the prosecution of individuals implicated. According to the AG, several attempts by the police to obtain further information from Professor Frimpong Boateng to substantiate the allegations allegations in the report and to assist them in conducting further investigations were unsuccessful. The Attorney General also stated that police investigations did not find any evidence supporting the allegations made by Professor Frimpong Boateng against the individuals cited in his report. The AG instructed the police to conclude investigations on this matter and provide him with a report.
About 23 passengers narrowly escaped a potentially fatal accident when their vehicle, a Sprinter bus, was involved in an accident at Suhum New Life, a location along the Accra-Kumasi highway. According to eyewitnesses, the driver, en route to Accra, experienced a blowout in one of the rear tires. In an effort to regain control, the driver applied the brakes, causing the bus to veer off the road and into the bushes. The accident led to a significant traffic jam on that route until police arrived. Personnel from the Motor Traffic and Transport Department and the ambulance service, with assistance from local artisans, conducted rescue operations. The injured passengers were promptly taken to the Suhum Government Hospital for medical attention.
Lawyers representing Inspector General of Police IGP Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare have declared their intention to oppose any efforts by the committee investigating a leaked audio tape involving individuals plotting to remove the IGP to summon additional witnesses not directly linked to the case. The committee has resumed its hearings after a break during the Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference held in Accra. Currently, the IGP has left the hearing because he has to engage in other national duties.
Our expectations are that the proceedings will go on normally. We expect the chairman to make some unilateral decisions and we will raise objections where necessary. Apart from that, we are not expecting any bombshells. The chairman might want to do that, and we will use the legal means to resist that. This is a fact-finding inquiry. Witnesses cannot call witnesses, and witnesses will not cross-examine witnesses. It's the committee that does questioning.
You heard the lead counsel for the IGB, Kwame Jan.
The leadership of the 2023 batch of students at the Ghana School of Law has expressed satisfaction with this year's pass rate for the call to the bar. Over 900 individuals have reportedly passed the examination conducted by the Independent Examination Committee of the General Legal Counsel. Many of these students have taken to social media to celebrate this significant milestone in their journey to becoming lawyers. Some of these students were among the 499 who were initially denied admission to the Ghana School of Law 2 years ago, but were later admitted following protests and appeals. This year's call to the bar is expected to witness the highest number of individuals being admitted. According to Odupon Ejapon Atejapon, the immediate past SRC president of the Ghana School of Law.
A while ago, I received a call from a colleague of mine. His question was, which of them is more intoxicating, the call to the bar or a wine, glass of wine? I said the call to the bar. It's exciting how students are reacting on their WhatsApp pages and WhatsApp statuses and all. For the first time, you're going to have about over 900 students called to the bar, to the Ghana bar. And this is quite historic, given the kind of events in the past. Last year, we had about 846 for the main call and about 200 at the mini call. But this year, for the first time, we have over 900 students being called. And the reaction is, you can't imagine. I mean, people are excited, having gone through tough time, 3 years, some 3 years, some 4 years, some 2 years at Makola. It's great news. We had about 790 and then 499 students admitted 2 years ago. That is my batch, 2001. You will see that if we have about 900 of us being called to the bar, and that is exciting news.
He, however, urged students who did not make it on the list to remain steadfast and work towards being called in the mini call, which will be in March next year.
I think that what most people don't understand know is that at the law school, Referral is just a normal thing. It's law. It's quite challenging cause. And it's not the end of the road. We have a mini call in March, first quarter next year. It is expected that these students will be offered the opportunity to sit for supplementary exams, and then when they are successful, they will be called. But they understand. Most students understand that.
Odupon Ejapon Atejapon is the immediate past SRC president of the Ghana School of Law.
Now, as the world observes World Mental Health Day today, authorities at Pantang Hospital are calling for increased public awareness campaigns to combat the stigma surrounding mental health issues in the country. They emphasize the need for policy reforms, integration of mental health into primary health care, community-based services, stigma reduction initiatives, professional training, collaborations, and digital innovations. In an interview with Citi News, Dr. Frank Baining, the medical director of Pantang Hospital, highlighted Ghana's notable progress in delivering high-quality mental health care to patients.
If you look at the state of mental health in Ghana, you have to look at it from a number of perspectives. And the first is you would have to look at services within the system. Then you have to look at facilities available. Then you have to look at funding for it. Then you have to look at are people able to access it. Then you want to look at logistics that people need to be able to work. Nationwide, I think we haven't done badly, to be honest. At the moment, you probably will find a mental health service in every district of this country. Different cadre of staff in those areas. For example, when you go to the districts, the community psychiatric units, you'll find mental health nurses who are manning them, and they are doing some pretty good job. I think the ministry went into producing sort of middle level where they were looking at physician assistants who specialize in psychiatry, and then these people were going to areas that they didn't have access to the very highly specialized people, like some of the regions. So I would say, on the whole, we haven't done badly. Taking a look at the fact that the numbers have moved from, let's say, 10 years ago, where you probably will have just about 10 psychiatrists, to now something closer to 100.
You heard the medical director of Pantang Hospital, Dr. Frank Banning. Meanwhile, the hospital's Operation Set the Captives Free initiative has so far rescued 9 individuals. This ongoing initiative aims to provide comprehensive care to 300 mentally ill individuals living on the streets and reintegrate them into society. Dr. Alice Owusu, head of public health at Pantang Hospital, is calling on all relevant stakeholders to support the hospital in overcoming financial constraints and sustaining this vital initiative.
Ultimately, we are looking at this becoming a program like the National AIDS Control Program, the TB Control Program. We think that this should be a program with enough funding and wouldn't just be a Pantang Hospital thing, but ultimately all the other facilities will come on board so that together we can provide this holistic care to these homeless mentally ill people on the street. Because Pantang Hospital cannot pick up all the mentally ill people in Ghana. No, even Accra and Tema alone, it will be difficult for Pantang Hospital to do it alone. So we need everyone on board. But there are quite a number of challenges we face. The biggest of them has been financing. It's been very expensive. The initial proposal, we were looking at people being with us for 3 months, but we noticed that there are people who have been with us for about 2 years, and the hospital keeps paying for them, feeding them, providing a place for them to live, caring for all their medical needs. I mean, it's a few, but they add up to the cost. We've not been able to identify their families. We have some that are foreign nationals. We have one in Nigeria who was trafficked in for sex work, developed a mental illness. We picked her on the street, treated her. Now we have to send her back to Nigeria. And all these delays means more cost.
You had the head of public health at the Pantang Hospital, Dr. Alex Owusu.
Some tourists and road users on the Kaswa to Cape Coast Road say they are gradually losing interest in visiting tourism sites in the central region as a result of the bad nature of the road, coupled with a huge gridlock often experienced, particularly on the Budumburam section of the highway. This, they believe, if not attended to, can lead to revenue loss to the sector. Citi News' Central Regional Correspondent Calvis Tete has more in the following report.
The Central Region is one of the regions with the highest number of tourism sites in the country. Tourism also brings a lot of revenue to the state. Today on the Citi Newsroom, we'll look at the challenges road users or tourists go through to access Ghana's tourism sites in the Central Region. One major challenge that is hindering or preventing tourists from accessing Ghana's tourist sites in the Central Region is the huge gridlock that often occurs on this part of the stretch. We are here to engage road users and tourists on how difficult it is to access Ghana's tourism sites in the central region.
You can just tell from the impact. You spend all the time here, and by the time you get to where you want to go, you can't do much. So you'll be discouraged from even moving on or coming this way for any tourist activities or any other purpose, if it is not very too necessary. Yeah. Who would wish to be in this? No one. So you would choose not to come at all. We spent more than 30 minutes for a journey we could have done in 5 minutes.
So you think authorities have failed us?
Absolutely. You're not missing with at all. Total failure.
I believe we've been in traffic for close to 2 hours, right? Very, very stressful. You know, we are pastors. We just closed from a conference. We've been in traffic for these hours. It's very stressful. And sometimes you don't even know how to suggest, you know, to the government or anyone that is in charge. We all know that those tourist centers are there. And yes, we even work with Americans. So sometimes we will have guests. So to take them over to, like, say, Kakum National Park or any of these tourist centers in this situation is very, very unfortunate. When our leaders are to even take any of their guests to these same places that we are talking about, we all know what happens in our country. They will clear us off, police escort, and then they go through. I believe that more can be done, and if they set their priorities right.
If you can tell, I'm already sweating. We're using an air-conditioned car, but we need to turn off the air condition and roll down our mirrors. We just need, it's stressful. I have a health condition, and it's not helping me. There is not a word to describe it. It's terrible. We need our leaders to prioritize and then come up, put themselves in our shoes, I think sometimes, and try to put in some little effort, and I think that will help us. We don't have, recently for the past years, we are not even having partners from the state visiting because some of them are afraid they will die. Just the conference he mentioned, the resource person was from the state, and he kept mentioning our road. It's like, you can tell he's trusting God, but at the same time, we live in an ideal world. And he was scared of the potholes, and he was making a joke. I don't know how you people survive on this road. Maybe you have a magical way of driving. We don't, but you know, we are managing. It's stressful. When they say that within you are embarrassed, but you try to laugh it off, but it's not a good thing to do.
Some people, it takes 2 hours. On Saturdays, when you come here, 6 o'clock, it's very difficult to get through. When you're talking about Central Region, it's a tourist hub. These are places too that can really generate a lot of income, say, for the government and boost the tourist industry. So this should be one of the priority areas that government should look at and ensure that the people of Central Region and then the Western Region and Greater Accra get, a very good route that will also boost tourism, and at the end, it will come back to benefit same government. This road must be one of the most important roads in Ghana because of Elimina Castle and other important tourist sites.
Sylvester Avem is a Ghanaian tourist based in the UK, but is currently in Ghana for holidays. He says Ghana's tourism potential is huge, but according to him, the challenges he goes through trying to invest in the sector is difficult, coupled with a bad road network. He has decided to rather invest in another country other than Ghana.
Now, I live in UK. I just came for 2 weeks vacation. Basically, I came purposely because I wanted to survey Ghana and invest. But looking at what I've seen, it has really thrown me off. So actually, I came with my wife, who is a Nigerian. Because of this, I decided not to bring her with me. She's at home. I've already been to Afraou. I went with her to Afraou, and from what we saw, it has really thrown me off. This will not help production. But who are you going to complain to?
Even she, who is a Nigerian, she doesn't even want to come out. So what about if I have to bring my friend who are white guys? It's a joke. I'm going to buy a land in Lome and I want to set a factory in Lome. Never in Ghana. No, it's not going to happen. We went to Lome last week and I met some people. They gave me land. And there's honesty in the system. Honesty in the system. And I just love Lome. If I have a block factory in Ghana, it's in Bawi. I'm going to dismantle everything. I'm going to Lome. Honestly, I'm so grieved. Quite apart from Cape Coast, which is one of the main hubs for tourism in the central region, areas like Gomuafete have a lot of tourism potentials. Traditional authorities say the bad nature of the road is affecting tourism. They offer suggestions on what government can do.
Our road network, I think the government has to come in so that if they are able to construct the road, that will be very easier for the masses to, those who are from outside, they can able to, come here. As you said earlier on, that we have a very nicer beaches over here. So these are one of those things that those from outside have to come. That will generate a fund for the community. So whereby the routes are very bad, they find it very difficult to come here. So we are appealing to the government to come to our aid and then construct the route for us. That will, make things easier for those coming from outside to Fete.
Fete is a tourist attraction, one of the best in the country. We have many places of attraction like White Sands Beach Resort, Tails Beach Resort, Sunset Beach Resort, Las Vegas Beach Resort, Marlin Beach Resort, and several others. Many people troop to Fete because of its proximity to Accra. The ministry responsible for tourism in this country to help us so that we can do this.
Ghana stands to lose a lot in terms of tourism revenue from the central region. These are the words of some tourists we spoke to. Calvis Tete, City News, Central Region.
And in the studios of Citi FM and Citi FM here in Adabraka, Accra, I am Wilma Ubobi-Sakoman here with Eno Safo. Still to come in the bulletin, police in the northeast region arrest one individual in connection with the murder of a nurse in Wali Wali. We'll bring you details of this and others shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Happy birthday to you. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Throughout all life-changing moments such as graduations, weddings, funerals, birthdays, ATL is there to ensure you're never out of style. When you think fabric, think ATL. Log on to atlfabrics.com. Order and buy your favorite ATL fabric. You can also visit our shop at number 40 Kwame Nkrumah Avenue, opposite the Swansea Shopping Arcade at Accra Central. Also available in leading fabric dealer shops in Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast. ATL, bringing fabric to life.
The 11th West African Clean Energy and Environment Fair, WACI 2023, takes place from the 18th to the 19th of October 2023 at the Grand Arena, Accra International Conference Center. Be part of the interactive sessions on clean energy, water, and circular economy. This two-day festival brings together West African and European industry experts, plus a showcase of exciting companies and the latest innovations from Switzerland, Austria, and Germany. Immerse yourself in insightful workshops on waste management, Ghana's decarbonization efforts, and circular economy platform on plastics and e-waste, organized by GIZ. WACI 2023 is organized by the Delegation of German Industry and Commerce in Ghana and supported by the Konrad Adenauer Foundation. Media partners Citi FM, Joy FM, and BNFT. Entry is free. For further information, visit waki.net or call 0242 438 760.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. We'll take you to the northeast region where police in Wali Wali have arrested an individual in connection with the murder of a nurse that occurred in the area. The nurse was reportedly attacked and killed by a group of young individuals from the area. It is believed that the nurse had a dispute with one of the young men who is associated with a gang of marijuana users. This suspect allegedly guarded his associates and he assaulted the nurse as he was returning home from work. Currently, one suspect has been apprehended by the police while others remain at large.
The Minister of Trade and Transport, Kweku Ofori-Esiama, has announced plans to introduce electric or driverless vehicles in Ghana to advance transportation in the country. He made this announcement during the inaugural International Driver and Vehicle Licensing Innovation Conference held at the Kempinski Hotel in Accra. The ministry, in collaboration with the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority and other stakeholders, is actively planning for the future of the road transport sector with a focus on utilizing advanced vehicles in Ghana's transportation system.
The movement, the ministry in collaboration with the Ministry of Energy, the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology, the Ministry of Transport, and the Ministry of Finance to support from public sector reform from the GOD project is spearheading the development of national policy to guide the uptake of electric vehicles in our country. The policy is intended to achieve, among others, the following critical outcomes: promotion of sustainable transport, energy security and economic benefits, improve air quality and public health.
Kweku Ofori-Esiama is the Minister for Trade and Transport.
Now, the family of one of the three individuals who tragically lost their lives while servicing a faulty fuel reservoir at the Cocoa Board office in Koforidua has expressed their full cooperation with the police service. The victims, Michael Ashi, Jonathan Kokroko, and Paul Oklu, all technical experts, were contracted to maintain a fuel reservoir at the Koforidua Cocoa Board office and reportedly suffocated to death while on the job. Ishmael Kote Ashi, the son of the late Michael Ashi, described the incident as shocking.
We have communicated everything to the police. And just to confirm, before I leave here, that we are a registered company with the Registrar General's Department and that we have been in this business for over 7 years and counting. So we are well abreast with some of these jobs. But yes, some of these incidences or accidents do happen. One person enters, the other went in rescue of the other person. And then he also got trapped. And then the third person, who was my father, also got engaged and then was trapped in the incident or accident. It was a shocking news, but all the same, we have to embrace whatever news has come. We are standing strong, and as a son of the family, I'm trying to keep my mother and then my sister together.
Ishmael Kote Ashi is the son of late Michael Ashi, one of the three persons who died while servicing a faulty fuel reservoir at the Cocoa Board office in Koforidua in the eastern region.
The aftermath of the recent Superdelegates Conference of the New Patriotic Party has cast a shadow over the transparency of the main primaries. The exit of Alan Chirmating, as well as the ongoing feud between two prominent party members, flag bearer aspirant Kennedy Ejapong and Ashanti Regional MPP Chairman Bernardine Triboisiakon, are part of the challenges the party is facing. Our Middle Belt Bureau Chief has some analysis on the party's prospects in the Ashanti region.
Following Alan Chirmating's departure from the NPP and his decision to contest the general election as an independent candidate, the frontrunners in the NPP race are now Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the Vice President, and Kennedy Ejapong, MP for Asin Central. Kennedy Ejapong has been openly critical of the Vice President, sparking a series of press conferences and counter-press conferences, particularly in the Ashanti region. Additionally, allegations of ethnocentrism have surfaced within the party's internal politics.
Our reason for today's press conference, ladies and gentlemen, is to express our dissatisfaction to the unfortunate remarks that are being made by our party stalwarts, MP for Asin Central, and also a flag bearer aspirant of the New Patriotic Party, Honorable Kennedy Ohini Ejapong. In one of his recent radio interviews in the United States, Honorable Kennedy Ejapong incited MPP supporters against the election of a northerner as the flag bearer.
The statement he made was about the tribal comments by the vice president when he went campaigning. And I can quote him. In one instance, he said that, you know that I was chosen as a vice president mainly because I'm a Muslim. So vote for me to represent the Muslim community. That's what he said. At another time, when he went to the north, he said that they were used as boy because the vice president has no specific designation. It is only when the president wants to use him that he sends him. That's what he said. He's on record to have said that.
Political historian Reverend Professor Samuel Dujemfi from KNUST has evaluated the chances of the aspirants in the MPP's internal contest. He argues that, from a scientific perspective, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has a better shot at winning the primaries over Kennedy Ejapong. Professor Dujemfi also suggests that the vice president may not have had the opportunity to fully showcase his capabilities within the Akufo-Addo government, as he seems to have been somewhat sidelined. Consequently, he believes that Dr. Bawumia is the MPP's strongest candidate.
At this time of the day, the global politics and looking at diplomacy, you would want to bet on the right person who is a potential president. Remember, and this is what we must know. Some people might think that it is just an MPP affair. No, the MPP as a political party is a public entity. It is not the bona fide property of the vice president and Kennedy Ejapong and the former agric minister who was selling foodstuffs at the Ministry of Agric. It doesn't belong to them or any of the MPP persons alone, even though there are card-bearing members who are able to decide as to the fate of their party, just like they are doing now. We, the citizens of this state, understand that historically, power has alternated between the MPP and the NDC. And so we don't care what they think about some of the things we say or talk about. The fact is that the party doesn't belong to them alone. It also belongs to Ghana. And these are things that must sink. On that basis, I say that when you are having a party that gives us a president, you are interested in the kind of candidate they present as a flag bearer. It is not only the responsibility of the kingmakers, so to speak, or the electoral college. It is the responsibility of all state actors, including ourselves as academics, to understand the current politics of the globe and to know which types of persons or individuals should be presented as candidates and would have the potential to lead this country going forward. So fundamentally, I think that Dr. Bawumia is their best bet.
However, he acknowledges that, irrespective of the victor in the MPP presidential primaries, they may encounter challenges in winning the general elections due to the current internal divisions.
I say that whoever emerges as the winner will be very difficult to break the 8 because already things fall apart, the center cannot hold. How they are able to patch up would become maybe a miracle waiting to happen. NPP is going to lose some numbers. How are they able to rather make this narrative or analysis I'm making, if you like, of no effect or useless? They are able to do that when they find ways of patching up with Kennedy Ejapong, who is going to lose anyway. It doesn't seem to me that he will lose because the system is skewed. He will lose because Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has consistently and persistently played a significant role within the MPP since the time he had the opportunity to get involved.
As concerns about ethnocentrism grow, especially in the Ashanti region, the political historian emphasizes the need for Ghanaians to shift their focus from ethnocentrism to issues-based politics.
For Citi News, I'm Edward Upon Kumasi.
Now, the Northern Electricity Distribution Company of Ghana, NEDCO, has not yet restored power to Wenchiki in the northeast region after disconnecting it from the community. A standoff occurred between NEDCO officials and the local youth when they requested a 2-day grace period to settle their outstanding bills, which NEDCO declined. This led to the disconnection, and efforts by the Assembly for the Wenchiki electoral area to reach NEDCO for a dialogue have so far been unsuccessful.
I've called some officers from the office, but the boss himself, when we called him, he doesn't pick. I was with my chief this morning, the community chief Wanchiki. He called him and he was not able to pick. So he told me when he is able to return the call, he will get back to me. So since then, he hasn't called me. I believe that he has not called him back. We are still in darkness. There hasn't been light again. And this morning, the people are still coming to find out whether the people will come for them to do the payments because they are eager to pay. Just that they were only begging that they should give them some 2-3 days for them to pay. Then whoever fails not to pay, then they can come on and then do the disconnection at those places. No changes, it's still the same thing.
Al-Hassan Abdul Ganiyu is the assemblyman for the Wenchiki electoral area in the Chirponi district of the Northeast region. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studios at Adaraka in Accra. Eno will bring us some other stories.
The Convention's People's Party has announced its intention to launch a mobilization campaign aimed at registering more young people as members of the party in preparation for the 2024 elections. The party plans to harness the frustration and dissatisfaction among Ghanaian youth to present itself as a viable alternative choice. Nana Kuma from Poma, the chairperson of the CPP, says the CPP intends to position itself as a third political force in the upcoming elections.
Policies have become so monetized. How can you get the system to work? CPP's time again has come, and we must make the best of it. That is why it is not just about fighting the system. It's not just about even talking about populist stance, but mainly important is to get people to be part of and own the party at the polling station electoral area. So that is why we are presenting the youth. It is the youth who are ready for a change. They want Ghana to be fixed.
You heard the chairperson of the CPP, Nana Kuma from Poma.
Majority Leader and Minister of Parliamentary Affairs Osechi Mensah-Bonsu says the minority side in Parliament could have reached out to the majority side on how best to address issues with the governor of the central bank than pour onto the streets to demonstrate. Osechi Mensah-Bonsu says the two have worked out a modality to deal with they could have worked out a modality to deal with the issue. He says the majority side will not support any move to drag the governor of the central bank to parliament.
We are members of parliament. We could have invited the governor to come and talk to issues that are not clear to us. You go on a demonstration, you organize a press conference against them, what you think is happening within the corridors, and then you go on demonstration. Then you come back to Parliament to move a motion. Do you want me to support that? Now you have made up your mind that whatever has been done by them is inappropriate. I'm not going to countenance it. You bring him. So if he comes to explain, are you going to take it?
You had Majority Leader and Minister of Parliamentary Affairs Osechi Mensah-Bonsu.
The National Commission for Civic Education has called on the Ghana Police Service to take punitive action against the individuals who disrupted a live program at UTV studio. This disruption occurred when a group affiliated with the governing New Patriotic Party stormed the studio. The NCCE, in a statement, commended the police for their swift response and urged them to ensure that the matter is thoroughly investigated and the perpetrators held accountable. Meanwhile, the Ghana Journalists Association has reiterated the importance of trying these individuals as an example to the public, especially in the lead up to the 2024 general elections.
We have had cause to be happy about how the Ghana FM case was handled. And very speedily, the police arrested the culprits, arraigned them, and the court determined the case have that speed to attend this case too. Also because, we are going into election 2024. Already the signals indicate to us that the stakes will be very high.
Kofi Yeboah is the General Secretary of the Ghana Journalists Association. Also, the youth wing of the National Democratic Congress is demanding updates on the case thus far. Amos Blessing is the Greater Accra Youth Organizer of the NDC.
If someone did that and the police speedily apprehended the person and the law dealt with the person, then our colleagues from the MPP who also committed similar crimes must also be dealt with expeditiously. Not that we have a law dealing with persons who are MPP because their party is in government, and we have another law applying to persons whose political parties are not in government. And that is the update we need from the police.
Amos Blessing is the Greater Accra Youth Organizer of the National Democratic Congress.
And that's it for Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. For more news, you can log on to our website, citinewsroom.com. I am Wilma Obubisa Coleman, and I did this with
Eno Safo.
Up next is the afternoon's edition of the Citi Business News. Many thanks for doing the listening, and do have a good afternoon.